you are a new person in Christ. Paul said something when he discovered himself. He said, brethren, I was with you in fear and in much trembling. I was with you in fear and in much trembling. He said, but now I come not to you with excellence of speech or of man's wisdom, but I come to you now in the name of the Lord. When you read 1 Corinthians chapter 2, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 1, he says something like that again, because he said it in the book of Romans. I was with you in fear and in much trembling. He said, but now, and look at 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 1. And I, brethren, when I come to you, I come not with excellence of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. Declaring unto you what did God do, what did it happen, what did the miseries of. Now look at verse 2. He said, but now the way I be now, for I determine not to know anything among you. All those culture what they do before, all those who want to go to play this, I don't want all those one again. Wait, I want to do now. That be this new thing. For I determine not to know anything, not just tell me anything among you yourself, or except who? Jesus Christ and him crucified. How he was killed, the misery behind his crucifixion, the misery of his death and resurrection. That is what I want to know. All those stories when they talk before, see this babe, see how this babe be, that party they here, that guy come from abroad, forget about that. That is how to be new. Every one of you that experience this move, you are a new person. When you hear the Spirit say some we lost it, you should say not me. The word not me, not just to just say it in your mouth. The word not me means the decision must be born. Decision must stand. Not just say amen. You can say amen because you like it. You can say amen because you are part of them. Amen should be born of decision. That word amen, you must stand your ground. Say me, I turn back, not be me. That is the meaning. Not just not me from mouth. Every one of you present here today that experienced that move, you are a new person. How you talk before should not be how you should be talking now. You must learn. Oh, if you don't learn the new government or the new law of the new government, it's either you put yourself into trouble or you jail yourself or no. You can just jail yourself in the sight of the Lord or no. You hear the instruction God gave you that day. He said, don't ever try to think that you will not be successful. How many of you heard it that day? I was not the one talking. Oh, I am just rehearsing what you heard. Oh, I was there, you was there. I am rehearsing it now. Those who have ear to hear, let them hear. It was not written. Professor, you compile now. Nobody wrote it down. It was what you heard ahead, but I'm just analyzing it now. It's like I am rehearsing it. I am reminding you. If I add to it, say it's a lie. If what you heard is what I just remind you of, then you have to be aware. He said, if you think you are no more alive, that means say you are no more alive. And before then, what was the former advice? Don't think about how you are going to make it. I've never seen where God give people 2 years to bless them. We are talking of plural here, not you. Say before 2 years or before so time, you will better. That can be prophetic. God is telling a congregation that between now and 2 years. How many of you will hear that day? He said many of you will be flying in the air. Then after some days, the Spirit came again. He said, don't think how it's going to come to pass. If you are wise people, you heard what the Spirit said that day before you go. He said 2 years is just like tomorrow. Did you hear that? Was it not all night? He said 2 years is just like tomorrow. 24 months, he said just like tomorrow. Then if I ask a question, who is that person that will lost it? Who will stand up saying at me? Everybody think they will keep it. But have you heard what will make you keep it? Have you learned what will help you to keep it? Do you possess the character now that will help you to keep it? Or do you want to live the way you lived before? Say it doesn't matter. The life of it doesn't matter end in 0 points. It doesn't matter now by that. I better not be by that. These categories of people, they end in 0 points. You need to learn what will help you keep this gift. You need to learn what will help you give yourself a value in the sight of God. He told the woman there, can I enter you? The woman said, can I enter? The woman said, yes. All of us say, God said, you cannot carry me. He said, because when you get angry, you talk anyhow. If you carry God according to his promise, your mouth can vandalize your life. Your mouth can bless you. You were talking anyhow before because the talking and do was not there. And the talking and do is there now. I like Nigerian English. If you buy token, it will buy happen. I just talk more like that woman in deeper life. When I just do like goat, what did they start doing? They start eating the yam she was peeling. And they are from a 7 days program. And she's not a pastor, a member. You are now a new person. And you should be controlled by a new government. If you were in APC, maybe they have their pattern of operation. Now you are in PDP, they still have their pattern of operation. If you are in Labour Party and it's Labour Party that want to rule, I believe they should still implement a new move. When you go to Italy, they have their law that govern the country. Is it not so? When you go to Germany, they have their law also. When you go to UK, they have their law also. There's something they are doing in UK now that other countries have not started doing. UK now can operate all currency in the world. You pay the money to your country account. There is an app in UK they used to convert the money to dollars, to pounds. But it's much. The difference is more than 30%. It's much because a lot of people, their children are schooling there. They don't have means to send their children money. They now implement that style. You will pay the money to your country in naira or in rands or in. Then the app is there. You will use it there to convert it to their currency. Then I told somebody in Germany, why can't you still do the same thing? He find out, they say it's not done here. Then France is close to the place. Why can't they still do it in France? They say this kind of thing is not done. It's only done in UK. It's a government. Where you are now, the level you are now. Don't say they did not tell you. Pastor, no explainer. We have been telling you about your mouth since you enter here. I don't believe that there is gospel I've never preached here. The only gospel I never preach is love. Because I am one of the people that believe that love does not exist. Are you hearing me? I know many of you, I know what is your mind now. Pastor, don't understand. Now, if out of 100 million, only 2 people have love, is it pass mark? Did you not read a book that says every human being is a potential suspect? Why does the word use every? What is every? Every human being is a potential suspect. Love does not. Don't mind those who preach it. Those who preach it, if you see some of their character, you will know that love does not exist. Praise God. Because the kind of love I see in the scripture, it does not exist, brother. It does not exist. Even here, as we are here, said there's no love here. The love you may think you have is 10 naira out of 1,000. The love you think you have is 10 naira. If they want to value it, it's 10 naira out of the 1,000 love God is talking about. So don't tell me, Pastor, no, done at church today. Tell your neighbor, say, Pastor, say no love. Pastor, say no love. This generation, we have members, gossip, pastor, talk about pastor. There's nobody they cannot talk about. Where is love? Among all of you here, who can defend me? You tell me, say yes. Let me tell you what you have said about me before. Number 1 to the last year. Who can defend me when they bring my matter? Is it not when Demo was now talking societies? I will do this, I will do this. That was where people started saying, now so it be. Even the people you trusted, if you see what somebody have said in your back, you will scream, say, this kind of person saw this kind of thing. Yes, I'm not the time that I ask. I am asking now. So, if love exists, it's 2 out of 1 million. So to me, it does not exist. Preaching it on TV, those things you are saying, forget about it. For just throw away, you not go for trouble. The best way to live in our generation today is trust yourself and God. Tell your neighbor, say the best way to live in this new generation. Say it's trust yourself and God. If you trust me, you'll be put into trouble. If I trust you, I'll be put into trouble. So the best way to help me to live with people is to trust myself and God. Then when you now do societies, I will now know that I know. Then you will not be over days. All the ministers in the world today, people that condemn them are people that are close to them. Or countable of ministers, you hear their critics. Now people went, and Jesus said, mass enemy, they are very far from him. No, I thought I'm mistaken. Mass enemy, they are around. They are people of the household. So, even the Beni says, Ochen or Seazewo, because all may not be your friend. But their brothers and sisters, there are many, only few is your friend. So, you are now under a new government. If you want to see lie the way you used to lie before, okay. If you want to see be shouting at your husband the way you were shouting before, okay. But before this gift came, I heard how God was talking to some people. God was asking a lady here that day, is your husband your child? How many of you remember? Is your husband your child? You talk to your husband the way you talk to your child. I was hearing, I will learn. I will learn. How long will you learn? After about 3 children. You talk to your husband as if you are talking to your child. God was warning people here. So the experiences before this level, I will start playing the video for you people. You did not just jump into where you are now. God enter you frequently now. He will just enter, we leave all night. He enter, he leave. Few days ago, he promised me and you that he will enter your front and your back. He said when the enemy coming to your front, he said they will see who? They will see me. He said they will see the pastor. Okay, now God is told that day. I thought you forgot. They will see me. He said if they come to your back, they will see me. Look, if you take your life play, if your life go back to 300 years ago, I believe you understand what I mean by that. Go back to your former worst or bad condition. Don't blame anybody for that. Because you cannot use God the way people use men of God and dumb them. God is not like that. As he enter you, he expects you to do what you are supposed to do for him. Because anything you are doing is the one doing it. Before this experience that God wants to enter your front about, what did God told us here? He said all those prophets I called that day that surround me like this. He said whatever I say. He said all of us say it together. That is who God is. When you carry God, anything you talk is like it is God that said it to you. You are using God to do something. That is why when you do evil, he punish you for it. Because the Bible says God is too holy to behold iniquity. If you want to be sincere, open your eye and grow. I used to tell you, if you fail to get the reason why God brought you here, you may not get it again. That's why you have to be careful. You are now under a new government. Now look at 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. 1 Peter 2, 1 and 2. Wherefore, laying aside somewhat, half of the malice. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all, and what? Hypocrisy. What is hypocrisy? Those who aren't what they are not. You pretend. Paul called them eye service people. When you pretend as if you are doing this thing very well, but in the access of the person you want to entice, you are not there. So there are many hypocrites. Look at the Bible says, put it away. Malice and all guilt and hypocrisy and envy and all evil speaking. This is your new message. Keep malice away. All those acting when you begin to clinch when you see man of God or you see someone that say all those kind of things, you do. He say keep them away. If you want to do anything for God, do one. If you don't want to do one, not just pretend to do one, because people when you want to get excited, they around. There are people like that. We know them. We know those who do it in our ancestors also, with our little knowledge. We therefore lay aside all malice and all guilt and hypocrisy and envy and all. How do you talk after now? God enter your front, he enter your back. Do you think you are empty? Do you think you are ordinary? The people of old did not experience this. Though maybe they experienced it, but it was not put into writing. I have not seen where God say, call all the prophets of old. Tell them to surround you. How many of you are here? Then he said, anyone you want to use them. So I will just say, Moses, enter here, enter. Isaiah, enter here, he enter. The spirit that used them will just come and enter. Without struggling, without powerful worship, without praises. I will just say somebody started, Moses, enter, he enter. Then the prophecies, he used Moses to do the work he used Moses to do, then he will start doing it. Then what do you need now? You need the character to follow that movement. So that you can harvest what they put in you. You can harvest what they saw or see ahead of you that is going to happen. If you don't possess the character to follow the instruction of these ministers of old, forget about results. Forget about results. When person carry from the clear put. The way you are now, you need to know all these things. I don't know is not an answer to the presence of the spirit. If Gehazi has known that the leprosy of Naaman will clip him, I don't believe Gehazi would have been interested to collect those things from Naaman, the Syria. Gehazi did not know. He thought he can play smartness. He thought he can use Elisha. Maybe he has been using it and he go away with it. But this one, night trap catch him. I don't know what Naaman looked like when he came to see Elisha. I don't know the nature of Naaman when he came to see Elisha, but the Bible told us he was leprous. Gehazi, where did you go? Instead of you to just say the truth, because he did not know, my master will be angry. And they play tennis for back there. I just go near Federal Girls College. They play tennis there. People just they not just go. I don't be so. I didn't even win for near Holy Rosary. They just play ball there. He said, "Was my spirit not with you when you were collecting something from Naaman? I saw him when he come down, he walked to you, and he give you all those things." He said, "Well, let the leprosy of Naaman clip you and your children unborn." When they say I beg go, when they don't say I beg go, we don't know. But the Bible told me something. He said he led the place of Elisha, a leper, as white as snow. He did not know. The question you will ask now, why did Elisha ask? If Gehazi was truthful, if he was operating the new government, if he were operating what was in him, he was supposed to just go on his knee like David. Baba ibe de fieti, hey, he woo. Baba me mefa. Oh my baby, can you weigh me down here? God go look and go say, "Oh mona, Osazuwa." Yeah, boy. But so, why did you do this? I wait for you, no quick corner or father. He said, "You are done foolishly." He said, "Today your kingdom will be established forever." He said, "Now by that one pass." Another day, destroy the Amalekite. God remember what the Amalekite did to Israel, and God gave a command: go and kill all of them, both sucking children, both animal, anything. Say destroy all. Was that not the message? Yes, the stubborn soul that don't want to live under the rules of the new government, because he was not born into the government. He stumbled into the government in the process of time. He did not go to the school of the new government. He was looking for his father missing donkey. Then he got the ticket to travel to Canada for his master's degree. I don't know whether you get that. Then the prophet said, "Behold, the king of Israel." He said, "There is no king in our kneeling. How can that be?" He said, "Follow me." After all the prophecies and everything, he saw the new move. He said, "And thou shalt prophesy. You shall see two men going to Jigga. They will give you bread, they will give you wine." He said, "You must accept it from them. And when you see yourself in the company of a prophet, you will prophesy." All these things come to pass that day. Yet he did not learn the character of the new government. He was still operating the character of the old government. The character of the old government, you can lie and still be praised. You can do fraud and they call you G-boy. You can commit adultery, they say the guy is sharp die. You can pregnant woman, they say the guy is very fertile. It's a sharpshooter. They can the old government praise you in error. Even when you are about to be destroyed, they still praise you the very second to destruction. But the new government don't like all those kind of pleasure. So the guy found it difficult to adapt to the new government. He was operating the old government in the new government, which is error. Why did you bring the Amalekite king out? He said, I just did it. I want to punish him more. What of all this cattle and goat I'm hearing? He said, my workers bring it. They said they want to use it for sacrifice to the Lord. And the prophet now asked him a question. So, he says, sir, does the Lord have delight in sacrifice as in obeying his word? He said, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of ram. He says, stubbornness is as witchcraft, and rebellion is as iniquity. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected you from being king. After he was demoted, that was where he now tried to adopt to the new government. It was late. So now say job be, yes, you not be king again. As the prophet wanted to go, he hold his cloth to beg. And the angel of the Lord tore the cloth. A prophecy now flowing. He said, behold, the Lord has tore the land of Israel out of your hand this day. And the Bible says, walk away from him and come back to Saul no more until the day of his death. You can be demoted before you realize what you did. This spirit that enter your front and back can leave you before you realize what you just did. But it will be better that you know the consequence of what will happen if you do so thing. How many people here can sack their boyfriend or girlfriend? The condition you are now is either you choose God or you choose boyfriend. The condition you are now is either you choose God or you choose girlfriend. Because you will not listen, but if you lost it. Listen, don't come and meet me tomorrow. Say, Daddy, tell God me enter my back and my front. You will collect from me, because you want to put me to trouble. I am not Moses that they tell to strike water, to speak and he strike. This one is not done by me. I cannot call God say enter. If I call God say enter, there should not be any conversation. I just did it for practical. But when you are falling into trouble, you want to come and meet me, say I should tell God to enter. That means you are telling me that I am more powerful than God. You are telling me with your condition that I should command God to enter. Practical. So enter here. It's different from you are falling into trouble. Then you come and meet me because you think God is using me where I should tell God to enter your front and your back. Be wise now. Be wise. Something more than gold is something more than gold. The Spirit of the Lord in the life of man is something more than gold. What enter your front and your back, you will not know now. You will know when you have our experience. When some ancient demon will appear to you, you do like this, something happen. You will know. The reason why we thought say no witch on earth can deal with us anymore, you will soon know. Because you are implicated now. Are you here or you are too? The thing that make us talk the way we talk, you have it now. But if you use and play, it's your fault. There's a Benin song. Ewu no for no say your way. Iwenga la pono fuageta Imie fan no sarie nwege ya fiala se. When stain enter white cloth, everybody they know. He said the garment of salvation, when God wear you, he said not take a crack joke. Those of you who like girlfriend and boyfriend, but remember what the Bible says. He said the pleasure of sin. He says for a moment. God has given you what ministers go to the wilderness and pray for. He give it to you freely. What ministers go and fast 7 days, 24 days. What they go to Suleiman, Jeremiah, motor of Oka for to sow a seed of 300,000 so that he should lay hand on them. Is what God do for you freely. I do. Yeah, wokuye no man guy. We no ozo. Okuye no man guy. We no ozo so akarakwa. That was my go na the guy ni. Okuye no man guy. Those who don't know the value of what God just gave them. Anyhow he like, now he will use them. Some may have it in mind, if I lost a God, daddy will put on so talk, he will talk. You don't know that daddy don't have that capacity to tell God to enter your back, enter your front. So he has given you, not because I pray for you that he should give you. You grow to receive it. If you lost it now, when are you going to get it again? People that fell out of faith, go and ask them. To stand again is difficult than the beginning. You have to be careful. You have to be careful. The gift of God is not biscuit. You need a new character for the new government to be able to go far. As you possess the new character, although it's painful, because the new character will deny you of pleasure. The new character will stop you from society place you used to go that you enjoy. The new character will tell you, I don't like there. What I'm seeing in those areas is not good. Everybody around there will just be smoking igbo. And look at those girls, they just naked and they were just doing like this. The new character will tell you, I don't like there. Your body will not be comfortable with you. And oh, your body is reacting. Glory to God. The Holy Ghost will just be banning you your body. You are not comfortable again. Immediately you leave there, you are comfortable. If you are going there, you are not comfortable. What will you do? You follow the rules of the new government. That's why the Bible told us about self-control. In Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 now, he told us about self-control. Some don't have self-control, they will force themselves to enjoy the error. They will force themselves. Sansi, Delilah, this is upon you. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. And that was where he died, because he has no self-control. You have to be disciplined with this gift you have. After everything, God will tell you to tell the body. I don't know those who respect you so much that will talk to you very soon so that you can react. I don't know. Then, if you are the one that say, I will leave it to your foolishness, I will ask you another day. You won the fight. If you react the way they press your button, then the thing that enter your front about will not give you a chance to do the business. Then you will not be ordinary. May you not think like Samson. He thought within himself, I will go out as at other time. He did not know that the Lord has departed from him. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 15 to 17. Oh, sorry, let's finish this, Peter. Let's finish Peter. Wherefore lay aside all what? Malice and all, and what? And all evil speaking. Look at verse 2. As newborn baby desire the same milk of the word, that ye may grow. Listen to the word of God. When they talk about God, when they preach, listen. Think about what you carry. God, they tell you now, say, as someone more not they survive without milk. He said, now that condition are you there now. Be hungry, be tasty for the word. Jesus says so. He said, blessed are they that are tasty after righteousness, for they shall be. Oh, you are not a Bible reader. They shall be what? They shall be filled. Blessed are they that are tasty after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Now that condition are there now. You need to hear more of God's word on how to keep the spirit that enter you now. But female children, some you will just shout at them. You will just sit down for one place. You will just cry for them. If you not take it, if you leave them from there, go here, you go, you come into there again. That's female children. But male children, every one of you have to be careful. Between that 8 to 10 years, their head not correct. Between that 8 to 10 years, person carry razor blade and almanac. Put for top of my first executive chair when I buy for my life. He cut the picture when they did the almanac for top of coaching chair. As me, they shall say, who cut this thing? The guy go bring almanac again. They show me how he take cutter for top of the same chair. How you take cotton? When they say me explain. Then the guy go bring the almanac. He say now so he take cotton. He say me one present. When me they shout for damages. Now I go call the foot and say they don't cut my chair. When the guy come, the guy fell laugh. He say children. I say they be no know how much you take to this chair. Till that chair die, that location when they take something take so. It come be like saying a pattern. New chair from the very day. There's someone till he condemn. That's what me children can do. Many of you are in that condition. Don't cause them. I never cause them one day. Because I know before they started coming. I know it. I pray that you will not lose what you have carried. So lost value before they give it value. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 15 to 17. You are in a new school. As newborn baby desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. 2 Thessalonians 2:15. Wherefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the tradition. Please, sir, what is tradition? Not belief. Not the way of life. The way they have been doing it. The pattern. They have been using to do so thing. Then they put money for woman head, you must kneel down. Tradition. When you sit down, they will kind of put for your leg count 7 times. They call it tradition. It's a pattern. Tradition is a pattern. The new pattern carries the word tradition. The old pattern carries the word tradition. So when you learn the new tradition, you no longer operate what? The old tradition. Look at it. It says, therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the tradition which ye have been taught, whether by word or by written. I am preaching now. The two is here. The epistle is this Bible. What was written down. The word is me explaining to you. Whether by word or by epistle. Look at it. Tradition. I am giving you a new doctrine on how to keep the Spirit of God that dwell in you. Now look at verse 16. Now our Lord Jesus Christ himself and God, even our Father, which had loved us and had given us everlasting consolation and good hope through grace. What many of you receive, not that you fasted 24 days. You did not fast 14 days. It's not because you are paying your tithe as God instructed you to be paying tithe. It just enter you so that you will not know what to disappoint anymore. Anywhere I'm going today in my life, I don't know what is fear. There is no any other spirit that live on earth apart from Spirit of God and Satan. One is lesser than the other. I belong to the higher one. So anywhere I'm going today, I'm confident. I don't want to hear people say I irritate me. Let us do what we are for. Don't just tell me I belong to this. We will show who we are there. Our Lord, okay, go to verse 17. Through grace. What you just receive, you receive it through grace. Go to verse 17. Comfort their heart. Okay, comfort our heart. What is the word you're there? Then it's a choice. comfort your heart, and establish them. Establish we. It's personal. Establish you in every good word and work. It's double. In your action, in your talk. In what you do, in your talk. Comfort your heart. Not that opportunity will not come to be angry. Not that opportunity will not come to spoil something. Not that opportunity will not come to misbehave. But he said comfort your heart and establish you in every good word and work. Now look at 1 Timothy chapter 4, 12 to 16. 1 Timothy 4, 12 to 16. You are under a new government. The government of God that will control the spirit that is in you. What the spirit is like is what you'll be doing now. Not that you don't know how to talk. But there are some people will tell you because of what you remember. You shake your head. You live as if you are a lazy person. But you know who you are before. That is the condition you are born into now. Jesus told Nicodemus, let him not be born of water and of the spirit. He cannot see and he cannot enter. You now, you are born of water, you are born of the spirit. Be careful. If you lost it, I don't know when you get it again. Look at next verse. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in money. In clothes. In what? How do you talk? He says you should become an example. How do you talk? In what? In what is conversation? Gisting. One adore the rapport, another the gist, another they go far for the gist. See, in what? In conversation. In what is charity? In charity. Some ministers call that charity character. In what? In spirit. In what? In purity. Touch not unclean thing. So, when you carry God to this level, anywhere you enter, the thing that follow you will saturate the arena. But that does not mean that we should not still be careful. We should not be reckless because we carry it to this level. Be careful. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers. In word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Is it not so? Go down, verse 18. Praise God. He said, till I come, give attendance to what? And to what? What is that exhortation? And what? Doctrine. What is the doctrine? No, doctrine is not pattern. It is tradition. That is pattern. The doctrine is the style you are operating. The skill you are operating. Doctrine. Pattern. The way you choose to do it may not be the way they were doing it. Now look, go to your version. Let us see that word exhortation there. Okay. Until I come, give your time to what? Your time and effort to what? To public reading of the scriptures and to preach and teach. You see that doctrine there? Teach. You teach. You see that preaching there? Exhortation. You that does not know anything, how can you talk to people? Like a landlord in Idowina, the boy, a tenant was giving him hamby. The landlord boss, he talk controllable laugh. Mama, why are you laughing? He said, you when they carry different friends, they come this house, and they give me hamby. May I call learn your way? Or how? The guy with the hamby is thief. Old landlord, they tell the boy, say, may I come learn your way? Come. You cannot go in parlor. You see this chair, now here they sit down around 5. When you they escort them, they go, now here they sit. The guy not argue. The guy said he was ashamed of himself. I said, then if you are ashamed, this one should be your lifetime experience. Live right in your environment. Because people are watching, you may not know. Did the landlord ask him? Did he correct him? What pushed him to go and give him hamby? God wanted to hear that message. So may I can't learn your way or bring it different guests in. But why you tell no? Say now here, they sit down. 4 or 5 o'clock when I know they sleep again, I sit down here. Everybody when they come out for cup at the edge, I they see them. I they see with different guests, you know they carry one. Then you come they give me hamby. After I don't laugh finish, he give and say me give another person. That's it. His doctrine put him into trouble. But the doctrine of what the spirit we choose to follow, he said, don't follow a woman that you are not legally married to. He call it fornication, he call it adultery. But people say it doesn't matter. No problem. Samson will tell you what happened to him in case you see Samson. Until I call, give your time and effort to the public reading of the scriptures and to preaching and teaching. Go down a bit. And do not neglect the scriptural gift that is in you, which was given to you when the prophet speak and the elders laid their hands on you. This one is different from what we are reading. I did not lay hand on you for God to enter. Hey, oh, go enter. I want to take a students away. Eddie Osabo. I bet me tell you, say Eddie Osabo. This one they lay hand. After the prophet prophesied, they lay hand. God tell Moses, bring 70 men among you. I will take from your spirit and put in them. I be not be so. When he want to do Joshua, he say Joshua. He say lay hand on Joshua. I be not be so. This one on the experience. Now you and God now get the contract. In case you want just play with what you enter, you take and play. But I dey do my office. Now my office I did so. I dey tell you what you are supposed to do for you. See, do not neglect the scriptural gift that is in you, which was given to you when the prophet do what? Spoke, and the elders laid their hands on you. Is it no elders that laid their hand on them? But this one, who enter you? Who did it by himself? Was that the one that prayed the prayer? Was it not God that said it by himself that I will come and enter you? That is why you have to remove me in the business. Be careful in the hand of God, because the Bible says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hand of God. Now look at next verse. Practice these things. What did he say? That is the new government. That is not how you are becoming. This one you need to practice. Practice these things and devote yourself to them, in order that your progress may be seen by all. Can everybody read this? Want to go? That you must is the new government. There is nothing you can do about it. So no cause to say there is a great chance since I'm born again. The place I used to go, I go them no more. The things I used to do, I do them no more. The Baba things I used to do, I do them no more. There is a great chance since I'm born again. This your own is more than born again. You will do so many exams. You will do so many deliverance. Now, God is not coming to enter you freely. Then you will still carry your body and go back to your vomit, where you are coming from. God carry you enter car wash. He zanzan your head, remove all those muko, service you, all yet those locations. Then you will not go back because of it to your. How many minutes? Then everything about you taunted. When you now see people, they buy GNK, they dash people for birthday, you can't say a pastor don't initiate them. Get with them. I bet me they go. I don't go to that church. That's why you have to keep the record of your daily life. I know that it's a thing that must surely come to pass. I'm happy for it every day. It's a thing that must surely come to pass. I serve the God that does not joke. He say whatever I say all must be accomplished. He promised you 24 months. I know why I'm saying it every day. As I'm saying it, heaven is echoing. They know that this man not they forget something. Then they have not been preparing, they are preparing now. So don't come and tell me it's a long story. Because when you don't say it, the story is always long. Practice these things and devote yourself to them, in order that your progress may be seen by all. Conclusion. Watch yourself. Watch your teaching. Keep on doing those things, because if you do, you will save both yourself and those who hear you. What is this place telling you now? Is it talking to you alone or me and you? Read it again. Watch yourself. That's what I do most of the time. Watch yourself and watch your teaching. Keep on doing these things, because if you do, you will save both yourself and those who hear you. But when a man that is progressing is preaching to those who hungry for it, they say it's pride. Is this? How can you know that I'm progressive if I not tell you societies I have done? I'm talking to those who were saying I am too proud, I'm too proud. If I don't tell you this is what I'm doing, so place, Are you a witch? How will you not know? But when you are not telling people that this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, so this is what I'm doing, they will say, if you not talk, I'll call. Well, if you not talk, I know. Evil son, when I was still saying it, they did not believe until they get there. When they see the prayer before, they don't believe. Say, one woman went and said, Daddy, now say, B, you not talk and reach. Why son say, now say, they talk. The day when you get to the project, you will not say, so, everything when this man talk, not true, not true. May your life become a light. May your life become a light that people of the world will see in the name of Jesus Christ. That's the gospel. Save yourself and save others. See, watch yourself and watch your teaching. Keep on doing these things, because if you do, you will save both yourself and those who hear you. I preach what I do. Praise God. Now go to next verse now. Here we go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, 15, 17. 2 Timothy chapter 3, 15 to 17. Are you there? And you remember that even since you were a child, you have known the Holy Scripture, which are able to give you the wisdom that leads to salvation through faith in Christ Jesus. Scriptures give you wisdom. It teaches you on how to go about what you carry now. Look at verse 16. All scriptures is inspired by God and is useful for teaching the truth, rebuking error, correcting fault, and giving instruction for right living. Can you read it again? Everybody want. All is inspired by God and is for the rebuking, correcting, and giving for right living. This is the instruction of the new government. All you were doing before, you must try. You must try. You must really try. You must try. The new government. There are things it will stop you from doing. There are places it will stop you from going. There are societies you will not be able to say again. You cannot be a false witness. Whatever you say, truth. Whatever you say, truth. Whatever, I will see you after service. Whatever you say, let it be the truth. Now look at it. Go to the next verse. So that the person who serves God may be fully qualified and equipped to do every kind of good work. To do some kind of good work. Everything working together for the good of those that love God. So that the person who serves God may be fully qualified. Not halfly, fully qualified and equipped to do every kind of good work. The new government. The new government. You need to try. If some of you are able to keep this for 1 year, I will toil it for you. I will give you many attention because you are C85. In your work, in your home, especially many of you that deal with crowd. Can't see character. Crowd be like poultry farm. Are you following me? Those of you who deal with crowd, you are like a person in a poultry farm. Fowl will just fly, climb your back. As you just better, they put their water for granted. He will fly, climb your back. Like say you be mama. He mate the chop. He mate one drink water. He go just fly, climb your back. So on the top of your leg, you for comfortable. So we just fly, put for top of net when they cover the place. And they hungry since so. When that body they catch and when they see you, I don't know. Now so crowd be different character. Different manner of human being. Now when they attend to crowd, be careful. Think about this every day, because as you just see that crowd when they call they patronize you or when you there around, so Satan children day, Satan first Sunday, Satan last born the day. Now so they are coming your way. So you need to be careful. Some of your neighbor. When I tell my wife my children yesterday, my wife said that means we know they come out for us. I say no, they come out too. They're there everywhere. The market one I want to go there. Where you want to go buy your Brazilian hair, anything when they buy one until they rub on her face. All those cool and potting and spray. They did it. Now you go decide how you go to live with them because they are in everywhere. That's why the Bible says now Satan they control this world. Not maybe they control because now you get highest population. Now me God just talk say now you they control. Now you get the highest population. If 100 people gather, if you not take 85 now Satan children. He uses them as he like. Anything we want to use them, we will take them one. Praise God. Now conclusion, let us go to James chapter 1 from verse 19 to 23. Remember this, my dear friend. Remember this, my dear friend. Everyone must be quick to listen, but slow to speak, and slow to become angry. This is the instruction of the new government. Why? Why was Paul writing all these things? Why did the Apostle James write all these things? For the people that will come after them. If you look at the instruction of Paul to Timothy. Thank you, sir. Instruction. Timothy, sir, neglect not the gift of God that was in thee, which was, he was talking to Timothy on how to go about it. And the condition are there now. Do you know how God is going to give you money? Do you know how your blessing is going to come? When there's not going to come through your work, when there's going to come through the one of the healing you will do you know? Now, person when professor pray for hospital when he heal, now I call you testify. Now Muslim, now me preach to them, now me get hamby. If that person was a multi-millionaire, say go be. The children when they do so for Sangwater, you know, listen to the testimony. The boy when come up from winners go share hand for hospital. He give you a multi-billionaire hand be. You know, listen a multi-billionaire I did that bed. In member sit down here. Now woman not get who they help him. The boy will buy bread, buy of it, I can't give the woman. And the woman never go church. Not be winners member. Now hospital for go meet them. When the woman they complain, say no get who they help, and the boy say, don't worry, I will be helping you until you leave here. The multi-billionaire they listen. When he will tell to this, we pray with him. He go see me the multi-billionaire, will see pray with him. Then the millionaire asks and say, where are you coming from? Early morning you are here. My children will not be here. People that are following me, they are not, and you are already here. He can't tell the man here for the come. Then the man says, it's very foul. Do you see around there? Say no. Now that place for the come here, say yes. I visit social hospital a day. He said then you will need a bike. Then the man say, yes, sir, if I get back, I'll be very happy. That can still help me to move easily. He said, okay. The following day, the multi-billionaire charger by himself. He said, I discovered that Lagos is too busy. Bike will not be good for you. You need a car. They never start winner. So this one not be member. This not be member. As the multi-billionaire they discharge and the guy go ask me go choose car. When will they use it do evangelism? They say after that the court say what do you do for a living? You can't say no get work. Now make it free way to they do this. It's okay. He will put you for work. When he will give you time, they do what you they do so. I don't know how God wants to bless you. Because when I hear that Shiloh, read that Shiloh, the testimony did the back. Now the guy take become what he be. But by the preach, but he talk out 24 hours. Because it is surprise people. Person will never start winners. Now you they go the buy certificate for hospital. I say yes. Where you for see money you take the buy certificate? I say no money. The old woman just did there. He say never eat since he pray for her and they treat her. So now he just begin to take care of her until they discharge her. You know say that thing when they do car they near her. You know say the job they near her. That multi-millionaire was not supposed to be sick because God want. Because God want you some arranger. Now he touch one location. Now they carry the guy go there. Now they car for common and they work for common. He's happily living now. So when God is doing societies, you will think that your righteousness has given you. He is doing it because of where you are going tomorrow. Paul and Salah, they did miracle. The priest of the Juju community brought rams and gold. They want to offer it for sacrifice that their God has come down in human manner. When they tell Paul, say what they do, now Paul shall say, we are human beings like you, I beg. Mona no kick go, mona no kick cow. Now say, I don't know what you want to take on do. What of if your greatness won't come through what you got to put? And you just throw in. Then the day when that opportunity will come, you pray nothing work. Because you are unmarried. I don't know where you they go. This is why God the enter. You know, say you be pastor. You know, you never open ministry. God just the enter. God they beg you, they enter. You not tell us enter my front or back. Now you talk about yourself. I will enter your front, I will enter your back. If they are coming to attack you at the front, they will see me. If they are coming from above, they will see me. And you hear what the Spirit said, that new sickness is coming. Did you not hear that? He said, "We will not come near children." That is the reason why he want to enter children. I don't know whether you can remember. Brother, the level you are now, I don't believe you are a child in the Spirit. The manifestation or the blessings of God has not come. That does not mean it's not there. I have explained to you before that the blessings of God you are seeing is not the houses we build or the car we are driving. The blessings of God you are seeing is on the inside. The proof of the blessing is what you are seeing around us. You are blessed people. You are blessed people. Spirit of God enter, he commands. He enter your back, he commands. He faces the other one. Then when he gets to some, he doesn't enter. He will do like this. I don't know that you witness it. For you to know that we are different species. He will pump and enter that one. Is it not somebody's chair? You sit down here in this large crowd. After everything, come to that place, you sit there in that chair very well. He get up. Did he say anything? Did he tell you anything why he sits there? Now so God be. Don't think you are neglected. Don't think you are alone. Don't think God has abandoned you. For God to put what is putting inside you now, that means he has something to do with you. Who will be careful of what God has put inside?